What's going on, my friends? It is the Beard here, and today we are back once again in fishing Barents Sea. That's right, my friends. We are here today to cover a topic that often gets brought up, and I've had some requests to do this. Now, disclaimer, what we are going to cover today is simply from my experiences and my point of view. There may be other ways to interpret it and so on and so forth out there, but we're going to cover the SCANMAR equipment. Now, I hope this is helpful. If you do find it helpful, please do me a favor and leave a like. Use two hands if you gotta. And of course, if you are new here, please subscribe and consider joining that Discord down below so you can come hang out with some fellow fishermen. Okay, so we're backing up somehow, but we've got our side thrusters on here, and I'm just gonna pull us off the dock, and we might as well go ahead and do something a little different. We'll actually put her in reverse and do an about face, and we're gonna get underway. So it really is one of the things in this game that when you get set up trolling, that, I mean, let's face it, we have a lot of questions about. Unless you are a commercial fisherman, you've probably never even heard of SCANMAR before, or even seen these tools used in the real world. Now, I have been on some fishing boats growing up. They were smaller, commercial fishing, trollers and little gill netters, nothing huge. Smaller even as comparison as to a lot of them would go, as I did grow up in a fishing community. But I am by no means an expert. I am very much self-taught here in this game. So I'm going to pass along what I've figured out, and in speaking with some of our community members, what has worked for them. And we're going to do it on the Hermes today. I am so excited about this boat. So let me take her out to sea. We're going to get her out into the wide, vast, open waters of Barents Sea itself, and we'll pick up from there and get right to this. Okay, so here we are. I've got my crew already set. We dropped the lines. I've got them down to where I want them roughly, and we're not going to worry so much about that. We're not going to try and catch fish right now. Obviously, it is the goal of what we're doing, but we're going to talk about the SCANMAR. So knowing that these are roughly 20 meters apart, you go ahead and you tweak them a little bit so that your net, oh, my speed is dropped. I can see that by looking at the net. We'll go ahead and just bring it back up between 2 and 3.2, and it will stay mostly in the green for that. I have my net a little wider than normal at the moment, but it's okay. It'll still work. You can see the one side on the left is out, but my symmetry is mostly good. This will catch fish. In fact, we do have some going in there right now. Okay, guys, let's talk about this. We seem to be good at 2.3, 2.4. Are we steadily climbing? No, we're good. Okay, my friends. So first off, what are we looking at? You know, when you first get going in this, and this is basically set up a tutorial for the beginners. If you were already established, you probably know what this is, and hey, this might not be the video for you. However, let's get to this. The DP number 2, this is your starboard door. They do give you a nice little green accent here for easy access, so you can look at that and go, okay, I know what that is. That is the depth of the starboard door in meters. That door is sitting 71 meters down from the top of the water, from the bottom of the boat. So here is the port side door. Again, it is indicated in red, and it's a nice way to quickly go, okay, oh yeah, okay, because I do have mine on opposite sides. Some people have the red on the side that is shown here. However, when you were outside here, this is your starboard control, and this is your port. So I just swap them like that just for reference sake. This is the depth, your DP number 3. This is the depth of the sensor. This will show you what height you are going to catch the fish at on your net. So very important to keep this one handy, in my opinion. Obviously, we want to keep the nav up because we can keep an eye on our speed, right now at 2.5 knots, and our heading. Okay, because, you know, well, let's face it, you know, you don't want to just blindly go. You might end up on an ice shelf somewhere. This is our hawk, okay? So the hawk is an interesting, it is your height opening clearance head rope. So basically, when you were looking at this, oh, my symmetry went, I'm not really paying attention. Your head rope is attached here. Okay, so this is your head rope. Here is your distance, your DST, and your symmetry. And these are your two doors in the back, your port and starboard doors. Now, this guy right here in the green is affected by the speed. As our speed goes up, this will travel. As our speed comes down, as we're doing right now in the swells, you can see this move. By adjusting this guy right here, and that's pretty much our distance between, okay, and that is these guys right here. The distance between those, which I have roughly set for at most times between, roughly about 20 meters. So we need to actually pull this back. That's why our symmetry is off. We'll do a small symmetry setting right now, so it's nothing too big. We'll go ahead and let that out just a couple. And cut that off there. And that's good there. So now you'll see this is moved out. That's in the green. We pull that other one back, and this is where the tweaking comes in. But as long as you are close to this, you will catch fish. So there was the distance we played with. That distance affected the symmetry, which is this marker over here. And again, our two doors at the back. And so by letting out more length, you will move them closer to this outside line. Okay? So that's how that works on the SCANMAR. Now, we've talked about our doors. We've talked about the depth. We've talked about our nav and our head rope. Okay, so this hawk system, your height, your opening, and your clearance. Your clearance is the bottom of the ocean. Okay, this is the opening between the hawks. So it's not what you're catching your fish in. That's your distance meter, I believe, and I might be mistaken on that one. I would love it if some of our real life skippers that we have here on the channel would chime in about that. A little more info there would be great. But for the most part on this, my friends, you want to watch this guy and watch this guy and make sure they don't meet, because that's bad. You're going to drag your nets on the ground. And we don't actually troll that deep in order to catch the fish. Here is the most important, in my opinion. This is the rate in which the fish are entering or can enter your net. So when you're on the fish, this number is going to jump up, and then you will see your nets start to fill. Okay, now what's this down here? These are our tilt diagrams. Okay, so we have our starboard door, once again indicated in green, and our port door, once again also indicated in red. Okay, so this is the tilt on the angle of the doors. This is how they're going to travel. When we adjust that tilt, our doors will go up. These will go up and down, and these will start to shift. They should always have a bit of an angle. The faster we go, the more tilt degrees you're going to have here. So slowing down, in theory, will sometimes get this all the way up into the straight position if you're not moving very fast at all. Okay, so that's really what these displays are for. I don't use these displays. I really just don't see the purpose in them. I typically have this down here like so, and that's all I need. Keep it simple, stupid. The old KISS method. Come on, you heard it once or twice in your life. Well, here it is. I'm throwing it down in a simulation video game. So there we go. There are numbers that work on here, but we're not talking about that now. If you want to hear more about that and my views on what works for me, go check out the fishing tutorial, the trolling tutorial, I should say. We go a little more in depth than that. That was part one. There is part two coming because I've done a whole lot of testing and I've tried different methods and I have some more to add to it. Okay, so let's get down to the bread and butter of this SCANMAR. Now we understand what this all does. Well, what does that mean for you? Well, there is an upgrade you can buy that allows you to pilot ever so slightly your doors. Well, why do we want to do that, Beard? Why do we want to pilot these things? So you can get on the fish, me mateys. And all you do is use your arrow keys, not the WASDs, but the arrow keys, located on the right side of your keyboard. And they will adjust, watch, I'm going to push to the right here, ever so slightly. But holding this down over time will continue to move it. And that will bring the fish into your target area. Now, I'm pushing to the right. I'm also going to push down. I want to talk about the crosshair that's up there, the scale at the moment that's got the little degrees and everything. But you can't see it very well right now. So we'll get close to one of these schools of fish. You can kind of see it there. It says it's 313 meters away where the cross hatch is. That is that heat signature of the fish that our head rope scanner for the SCANMAR is picking up. So as it gets closer, you have less time, obviously, to get into position. I am currently holding to the right and down, and you can't always catch them. You can't always get it, but it helps. Now, There's a method that you can use to make these steer a little easier towards where you need to be, but that requires steering the boat, which you cannot do when you are in the SCANMAR menu. You cannot adjust your speed of throttle, nor can you adjust your course. Right now, all you can do in here is simply to adjust your doors. So we're trying to get down onto the fish here, but it doesn't look like I'm going to catch these guys, and you can't always get them just from where we are. We have the one on the left at 300 meters, and it's, 18.7 degrees downward. You ideally want to get that crosshair right in between the doors. That's what you're looking for. I've had a lot of success at this. It's helped me catch a lot of fish. Over on the right side, you can see the same thing. Now, obviously, when you're looking at the sonar, pretty self-explanatory. Heat signatures are good, unless you're looking up at our boat there, up at the very top right here. These heat signatures are fantastic. So, this guy here, it's a little school. It's not going to give us a whole lot, but we're going to get some of it. Now, as you can see, we're on the fish. We were slightly there. It's because we're catching the top end of it. Our net's hanging down, and we're scooping behind here. Well, the net's actually back here behind us. As that fish hits us in the face, that's when you catch it. So as long as we can catch some of this, we will put some into our nets. Not a whole lot, unfortunately, because we're not in a good position. Now, it's already showing us the other one over here at 368. That one we have no chance for. It's going to disappear. But we might get some of this. So now we're going to scooch back over to the left. It's almost on us. Then we're going to go ahead and drop our doors down as much as we can. Now, please note, when you let go of these buttons, the doors will reset to whatever positioning you have set due to your layout here on the SCANMAR. So it doesn't look like we're actually going to catch any of this. It's unfortunate. I'm throwing this video together in haste, trying to get it done to get it out to you. So you're going to have to take this method and give it a try and make it work for you. I promise it does work because I've been doing great with it. But if you have another method in which you are making use of this, please let me know, as this is literally hours and hours and hours of fiddling and testing and trying and speaking with other players and what they've found. Okay, so that first school that we're passing is got some fish run into our nets right now. It's not a very high rate, but it's a rate nonetheless. Now, I don't think we can drop that up there, but we could drop this here. Maybe even move those around. Are you going to let me move them around? Come on, let me move them around. It's not going to let me. Now, the other thing that we'll put back on here is the catch code end. And then we can see we are, in fact, getting fish. This is exactly the layout that I use when I'm playing. And you'll see it in a lot of my videos. Sometimes I move them around a little bit just to play, but there we go. So we did get some fish. We filled her up here pretty quick. Sometimes you drop your lines in and you get fish just on the way down because you're in a good spot. But once you're in the water, it's techniques like these that will help you be a better fisherman. That is the SCANMAR tutorial in a nutshell, my friends. Once again, if you have something you would like to add to this, if you have any questions and anything that I may be able to help with, or if it's something I can't help with other than going into the Discord of Fishing Barents Sea, which is a fantastic great place for information. Some great people hanging out there, and that's where all the devs are. Or you can join my Discord, which is listed in the link down below. We have some fantastic fishermen, some hunters, a lot of people that really like the simulation genre. It is a growing community, and we're getting quite thick in the member books, if you know what I'm saying. Thank you all for joining me here today. It has been great. I'm just so happy to be bringing this stuff to you guys. I should have done it sooner, but I was busy fishing. I don't know what to say. I'm the Beard. This is Barents Sea. Don't forget to hit all the buttons and do it with two hands on your way out, my friends. We'll catch you in the next one. All right.